Okay, here I am, Scott, right here. I've got your writing up. I was reading through this. Good descriptions here. Good job on the banner. You're showing really good proficiency in the required techniques and the objectives associated with the assignment. So that's good. Image placement is good. Image adjustments are good. Good job with your typography, placing logos, including the masked image. Good proficiency, definitely. A couple of areas I think that we want to address in the banner ad. The one thing I can see in the magazine, I think the magazine ad looks pretty good. Right now, I think there's a really big separation between the headline, the subhead, and the body copy. So that's kind of indicating to the viewer that those three are not as closely related as they should be. So I would recommend bringing those closer into proximity. I think one of the main things we have to be concerned about in this image itself is it's a pretty busy image, specifically along this whole left side, specifically towards the lower bottom left-hand side where we have all of the trees, the fence, the sand, the shadows, the lounge chairs. It's a very, very, very busy portion of the ad, as is this area in the tree itself. However, that doesn't seem to be impeding readability at all. So, so we jump from the magazine ad to the banner ad, and we can see, one other thing I would recommend is moving this down a little bit, maybe even using the purple background logo just to increase the visibility. And then I would move this out of this shadow area down and assemble it in here. It may entail having to reduce the size, but at least it'll be on that white background where it's going to be nice and visible. Taking a look at the banner, I think my main concern about the banner is I think that you've cropped an image. The most busy portion of this banner you've elected to use, which is kind of impeding the readability of the headline, the subhead, and the actual location. I'm going to take a look at the magazine ad and see if maybe you can't, I don't know how, just think about a different area of the crop, just so you can have more clean background area for which to present your type. So I would recommend a reconfiguration of this banner ad just to suffice placement of type so that it is readable. Well, another thing I would recommend is I would say you don't have to include all of this information, this whole entire contact information. I mean, merely just saying located in beautiful U.S. Virgin Islands is enough to let the viewer know the geographic location. And I think that's a pertinent piece of information that should be included. However, you don't have to include the entire contact information because the banner itself will act as a URL. When you click it, it's going to take the viewer to the client's website where all of that information will be readily available. So just the location there, just a geographic location, that's all you really need. Also, headline, subhead, right? And then what I would do is I would move this over. I would just say kids stay free, teenagers 25% off. And then put that on one line right below here. Watch your hierarchy. The headline should be largest, then subhead next largest, and the body copy next. And then animate that in and out right there so that all of your pertinent type information is located within the same proximity, creating a pertinent relationship between the text areas. Okay, so those are my recommendations. If you replace the purple logo here, which I recommend, I would also recommend replacing it and using the same logo here. You may also consider consistent placement of the logo. Here it's on the lower right-hand side. Here it's on the lower left. You may consider replacing that logo, purple version. So I guess what I'm saying is when you make changes to the banner, just go back and look at the magazine and make sure it's maintaining consistency. Quite often, if you make changes to one piece in a campaign, it requires going back to other pieces in the campaign to maintain consistency by making the appropriate changes in other portions of the campaign. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know if it doesn't. I'll be glad to clarify, as I will be glad to clarify any of the comments in this video. So if you want to resubmit, have me take a look at anything, that's fine. Otherwise, I'd like to see you work on those changes for a final submission due, I believe, next week. Okay, great start. Thank you so much for sharing.